Oh, please humor us. Is a reaper on your doorstep proof enough? Hey there guys, Scott from Major here. I think I fucked up the intro, didn't I? Well, all the news is about, all the hype and all the anger and pain and suffering is out there about the Mass Effect 3 ending. And I've read quite a lot of the comments that were posted on my live reaction to the Mass Effect ending, especially the fourth part, which has now over 2,000 views and near enough 100 likes. Near enough, not exactly, but close enough. And I got to thank you all for that. Thank you for watching it. If you subscribed, welcome. And a lot of yous have actually been writing comments saying that a lot of yous have given up in the Mass Effect series and will not be buying any more games done by BioWare. Some of you are even saying buy games by EA, and good luck in avoiding a lot of published games by EA. So here's the thing. I'm not giving up on the Mass Effect series. I'm not giving up on BioWare. I honestly hate the ending, but I want to do 3 top 5s illustrating 5 of the best things in certain categories, in my opinion, that made the Mass Effect series what it was. And still to this day, I still will claim that it is one of the best series of games, trilogy of games that is on the Xbox 360, PS3 and gaming, even though the ending is kind of horseshit. So the first top 5 is going to be the top 5 music tracks from the soundtrack, or better yet, the top 5 tracks of the Mass Effect series. So stick around and I hope you enjoy it.
Council, please humor us. There's a reaper on your doorstep, proof enough.
Number 5. Number 5 is extremely tricky. There were a lot. If you've ever heard any of the soundtracks from the CDs or even digital downloads, the soundtrack is expertly done. But number 5 was really tricky for me. This whole list was tricky because I love all of the soundtrack. But number 5 is a tie between. Firstly, before I get to that, let me just say one thing. I will not be most of the versions of the soundtrack tracks will actually be done by Little V. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. He's an absolutely brilliant musician. I love his music videos, and he's done some amazing covers of soundtracks from movies and games. And his Mass Effect 1 is spectacular. I absolutely loved it. And the reason is, well, he adds some of his soundtracks do add a little bit more to the experience. And as they say, rock makes everything better. So number 5 is Shadow Broker boss battle theme. That theme just got you hyped for the boss battle. Fighting the Shadow Broker was an intense fight and one of Shepard's more badass moments. And the theme just encompassed it so well, and Little V added a bit more to it, which made me love it even more. So you're hearing it in the background, hopefully, if I'm editing it correctly, or I'll leave a wee snippet at the end where you can hear it. But the theme is just so expertly done, and I'd recommend if you don't listen to it outside of the game, listen to it outside of the game and let me know. But it's an absolutely brilliant theme in my opinion. It really gets you pumped and ready to take on the Shadow Broker. Grab your fucking sword and get ready to take him on. Yeah! And it just gets you so pumped when you're doing it. But also getting that slight urge that you might not win, that little bit in there, which is a tricky thing to do as a composer. And if memory serves me, it's done by, I have to do the list here. It's done by, fuck, I cannot read my own goddamn name. I thought right down here. Oh no, here it is. It's done by Christopher Lindsay. I've probably butchered the name, but he did an amazing job with that theme, and I think it really adds to the boss battle. The other theme that was tied for it is actually going to be using the original version of it, which is the Overlord Final Confrontation theme, which in my opinion is some of the best that I've heard. It's done by the same guy who done the Shadow Broker theme, but it's creepy. It adds such a great atmosphere to it. It gets the right thing of sadness, of pain, and all that. You feel it with that soundtrack, and I really do love that about it. And he done an absolutely amazing job with those 2 themes, and I enjoyed every single minute of that theme. The Overlord DLC, in my opinion, is an overlooked DLC. It is a great DLC, and the soundtrack is perfect for it. But the Final Confrontation theme is just so creepy, but at the same time so sad at the same time, and it adds to the experience. So those are the number 5, so let's move on.
Council, please humor us. There's a reaper on your doorstep, proof enough.
Number 4. Sam Herlock, you're a god. He's been part of the Mass Effect series for quite some time, but in my opinion, my personal favourite theme that he's done well actually he had the one other theme, but I'll get to that later, is the romance theme from Mass Effect 3. Now, no matter how much you say that Mass Effect 3 ending sucks, you cannot take anything away from the romance scenes. The romance scenes are perfect, and this music just adds to it. You feel, especially if you built up the romance with that character like Liara, Tali, Garrus, Ashley, Cade, and whoever, when you've built that romance up, that music just adds to the experience. It really sounds like a love song. If you were to put words to it, it would be a love song, but it gets the emotions just right, and that's what I think is really tricky to do with any composer to do with any kind of music, is to get the feelings right, and the romance theme for me, in my opinion, does it spectacular. I know it's got a name, I just didn't write it down. I just know it's the romance theme. And it really adds a lot to the experience, and it's just so good. It adds so much to it, and I don't know if the two romances that it seems to suit best, in my opinion, are the Tali and Liara romance. Fair enough, those are the only romances that I've got, but those ones, especially the Liara one. Oh god, I fucked that up. I don't know what it is, it just adds to the experience. And the romance theme in all the Mass Effect series has been amazing, but I think the third one, in my opinion, is the best, and it adds to the experience, and I absolutely love it. So, yeah, I'm a sap for romance, I can't help it.
Counsel, please humor us. There's a reaper on your doorstep, proof enough.
Number 3. The Elusive Man theme. The version you're hearing in the background is done by Little V. Link to his channel in the description, as I've said twice in this video, but he deserves this plug. And the original theme was absolutely spectacular and amazing, and Little V just adds a little bit more to it, but he does it very well. And the reason that this is number 3 is for one simple reason. It's the Elusive Man theme. Superman has his theme, Batman has his theme, Joker has a fucking theme, and now the Elusive Man is. And anytime you hear this soundtrack, or this track from the Mass Effect soundtrack, or even if you've never heard of Mass Effect, this instantly gets the character across to me. And if memory serves me, it's done by Jack Hall, who has also been with BioWare for many years, if memory serves me, but he just gets it right. The Elusive Man theme gets his character across, and it's extremely tricky, in my opinion, to get a character and a theme to mix and marry quite well, but he does it so well. Anytime the Elusive Man's there, you hear that theme in the background, you hear it in your ear, and anytime you hear that theme, you're just like, where the fuck is the Elusive Man? And it just adds to the experience, in my opinion. It's so fucking great. And it would have been higher on the list, but there were two other themes that kind of beat it. But it's just so great, and I absolutely love it. Anytime you hear it, you're going to think of the Elusive Man and how badass he is, how intelligent he is. With this song, with the track gets along quite well. It has his intelligence. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. He can manipulate you, and this is what this track gets across to me, is that you don't want to let your guard down when you're around this guy. But if you do, he will pluck away with it with everything he's got, and he will lie to your face if he has to. And that's why I think this track gets along quite well with his character. And it's an absolutely amazing theme, and Little V just adds a little bit more to it, but even on its own, the theme is amazing.
Counsel, please humor us. There's a reaper on your doorstep, proof enough.
Number 2. I don't even have to say anything, you're hearing it in the background. It has to be Leaving Earth by Clint Mansell, which is from the soundtrack of Mass Effect 3. Clint Mansell's a fucking genius. He is amazing. He done Requiem for a Dream. If you haven't heard it, listen to it. But this one in particular is personally one of my favourites, because it adds so much to the scene, and how he incorporates the Reaper's sound, how the Reapers make that noise. Hope I just probably butchered that, but how he gets that across. The theme not only gets the feeling of sadness across, but desperation and fear. You know that when this theme plays, you're leaving some people, you're leaving millions to die. People are going to die, and you can't do anything about it. You have to fight, and you know that you're going to have to come back here one day and end this war, basically. And that's why I think this theme gets along. It gets the sadness of leaving Earth behind, and leaving so many of your friends and people you knew behind. Your home basically is burning, and you can't do anything about it. And that's why I think this theme gets along quite well. And Clint Mansell just managed to marry the piano and all the other instruments with that Reaper noise, and I could just imagine he was making up the composition, and then one of the sound technicians just played the theme just as a test, and he went, can I get a copy of that? I think I can do something with it. And then he incorporated it into it, and it just worked perfectly. I I love that theme, and I personally love it, and yeah. It's just, it's also a bit of a tearjerker, I'll say that right now. So yeah, that's why.
Council, please humor us. There's a reaper on your doorstep, proof enough.
Number 1. Okay, I don't even have to say anything. You're hearing it in the background. The version I'm using is done by Little V as well, but it's the main theme of the Mass Effect series. In my opinion, nothing really will beat this. It's the theme song that starts Mass Effect off, and it ends it quite well as well. It's just such a great theme. It gets you pumped. It really shows the atmosphere of the universe that you're in, and it's done by Sam again, Sam Hurlock. Is it Hurlock? Hurlick. Sorry, why do I call Hurlock? I'm terrible at names, but he does an amazing job with this soundtrack and this theme. It just adds so much to the game, and when you instantly hear it, it's going to be the theme you're going to recognise with Mass Effect for years to come. And that's what I think is really important, is that this theme is now with Mass Effect for life, and it just makes the theme so much better and adds so much to the experience of the game that I absolutely love. And what it does especially well is match the atmosphere, match the scenes that it's in perfectly at the start of the series, introducing you to it and telling you all about the big bit about the backstory. It just adds to the experience so much. And that's what I love about it. It's the theme that's never going to get old for me. I'll listen to it over and over again, and I think anyone who's a Mass Effect fan loves this theme because it just adds so much to the experience. And in my opinion, it is truly the best of the Mass Effect series of soundtracks. And I don't think anything will top it, just for the fact that anytime I'm going to hear this now in the future, 10 years down the line, I'll hear this sound, the theme, and I'll just go, nostalgia. It feels so good, and it just all adds more to the experience for me, in my opinion. So I hope you enjoyed this top 5, and please don't. The soundtrack added so much to the Mass Effect series. I know probably your favourite isn't on here, but let me know what your favourite down below is in the comment section. But just remember that the soundtrack adds so much to the experience. There's another reason why I personally love the Mass Effect series. So don't let the ending take away from your experience if you didn't like the ending, because the soundtrack, in my opinion, more than makes up for some of the less interesting scenes in the Mass Effect series. So I hope you enjoyed this top 5. Let me know what your personal favourite track is on the Mass Effect series. And as always, I gotta give a major plug to Little V for helping me out and allowing me to use his tracks in this video. Please go check him out, show him some love, subscribe to him, check him out. He's an amazingly talented guy. He's also helping me out with another project that I'm not going to talk about too much right now. But please go check him out and show him some love, because he does such an amazing job with these covers and all that, and it just made me love Mass Effect even more. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and as always, I'm ScottishWarrior92. If you have any video requests at all, please don't hesitate to put them in the comment section down below. Contact me on my Twitter at ScottishW92 or on my Facebook page, which are both linked in the description down below. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video and if you want to, there's a little button up here somewhere, I think it's here, and if you want to click it on, you go and subscribe to keep up with my latest videos. And as always, I'll see you all later. Ciao for now. Mwah.